Transcending dualism raises this life to the spiritual level. When we're able to see that the entire cosmos is nothing but goddess, that everything we see is part of goddess and goddess's energies, and therefore the divine permeates everything, and everything can be used in the service of the divine. This is great. This is so helpful to us in this life because it gives a whole spiritual slant to everything we do. We can invest everything in our life with a spiritual energy by dedicating our life to the service of Radha-Krishna. When we set our heart to be devotees of Radha-Krishna, we become transformed. They enter into our life in an active way and transform this life and our material body into a spiritual body. Not totally, of course, this is a body that's going to age and die, but yet it becomes spiritual, just as an iron, when placed in contact with fire, becomes hot. When we're in contact with Radha-Krishna, we become hot. We get the spiritual fire from them and are able to live with that spiritual energy in all of our relationships in the world. We can extend that spiritual energy to our family, our friends, our co-workers, and the whole of society as we become instruments for Radha-Krishna to work through in this world. We surrender our lives to their service, and they spiritualize our lives so that our home becomes a temple to Radha-Krishna. Our body is a temple to Radha-Krishna. There's nothing profane about these things. These are the things that Goddess has given us as a gift of grace. So why should we look down on them as, oh, they're material, they're not spiritual, we can't become attached to them, we can't like them? But we can learn to make everything in our life spiritual by devoting it to Radha-Krishna's service. Even if it's things we use for ourselves, because we've devoted our life to Radha-Krishna, everything we do, whether it's eating or sleeping or having sex or going to town or whatever we do, it's spiritual because we're spiritual beings. And as soon as we stop identifying ourselves with, oh, I'm just so-and-so, born in such and such a place, of such and such a nation and religion, as soon as we get beyond that and accept that we're the individual spirit within the body, and that the natural function of the spirit is to please Radha-Krishna, in this way we become their intimate servants and develop a spiritual life. We use amorous images to depict Goddess, Radha-Krishna, because the heart is naturally attracted to amorous images, and therefore for centuries amorous images have been used to depict Radha-Krishna. And so we do also. We use some more traditional images, but even in these pictures which you see behind me here, I'm a photographer, and the women in these pictures, these beautiful dancers, I see Radha in them. I see nothing profane. I don't see an illusion that's just there to distract me from spirituality. But I think, oh my, isn't Radha so beautiful? If this woman is so beautiful, how much more beautiful must Radha, the divine image of all women, must be? So we can see Radha in ordinary women. We can see Krishna in ordinary men, because we're all formed in their holographic image and have the divine within us. That's why we're attracted to them. Like is attracted to like. We want them because they are the supreme other that will satisfy our soul. That's why I call this the way of natural devotion. It arises spontaneously from the heart and doesn't need a bunch of rules to follow in order to develop it. We cultivate a spiritual eros in order to experience union with Radha-Krishna. That sexual longing, that sexual desire can be directed toward Radha-Krishna in a spiritual way, so that our heart longs for them like a lover longs for her beloved. This is the traditional image that the Chaitanya movement has used for devotion to Radha-Krishna, and I'm simply putting it in contemporary terms. While we always want to experience union with the divine, Radha-Krishna, more likely we experience love and separation. And that's the rule. Even Radha-Krishna experience more love and separation than they do in union. And yet Chaitanya is said to be the ideal union of Radha-Krishna in one body. So we can try to incarnate Radha-Krishna in our bodies too. As we realize our androgynous nature, just as the divine couple Radha-Krishna are actually one, they are part of the androgynous or hermaphroditic divinity that divided into male and female halves, and then further divided into each and every one of us and everything else that be. As it said, the one became many. And yet that one exists within us, and so we always look within. This is a very inward-directed movement of meditation in which we seek inward realization of a union with Radha-Krishna in the eternal realm that we call Braj, where they live forever, eternally, and we seek to be one of their intimate associates. So let us always continue on the path and never give up until we get there. More on this in the next video.